We're ready. We're ready. We're ready. And we're tired. I'm ready.
Thanks. Welcome to sunny Naples. I hope everybody's had a chance to dry out a bit now. It's been raining all day just about, but nonetheless, it's been a good day. I want to thank Minister Crosetto for pulling together the very first G7 ministerial, defense ministerial. We're also grateful to our Italian allies for hosting nearly 30,000 U.S. service members, civilians, and their families here in Italy. The G7 defense ministers discussed several challenges that we're facing today. Putin's war in Ukraine, tensions in the Middle East, and strategies to promote stability in the Indo-Pacific and in Africa. We also took steps to strengthen and further integrate our country's defense industrial capacity. And so, all in all, I think this was a very productive first ministerial. And I think, again, our host did a great job of pulling this together, especially on the heels of a NATO ministerial. So with that, we'll go ahead and take some questions here. Laura, I've seen those reports in the media. I can't confirm those reports at this point in time. It's something that we will certainly continue to investigate. If that is the case, it's serious, obviously, and but it also indicates that Putin is having trouble. You know, we know that he continues to lose a lot of people. And you heard me say before that he's lost somewhere north of 350,000 people killed and wounded. And we believe that number is probably much higher than that. So, you know, we saw him go tin cupping to North Korea and Iran months ago when he began to experience serious problems with munitions. And so, if this is the case, then this would be doing the same thing for people. But again, if that's true, it's serious. It's something that we'll continue to watch.
Without speaking about the greatest potential intent, can you confirm that there are no British soldiers now being equipped in Russia?
I can't confirm that, Laura. So.
Mr. Secretary, the G7 statement today stresses the importance of supporting UNIFIL. Yet UNIFIL says it's come under several deliberate attacks by Israeli forces in recent days. Do you agree with the Israeli military that deliberately attacked UNIFIL? And what is your response to these concerns?
Well, certainly UNIFIL plays a key role in 1701, making sure that you know there is a possibility to put into play that agreement if there is a ceasefire in the future. So we need the UNIFIL forces there, and they work with the LAF forces, as you know. Certainly, I've seen and heard the reports that UNIFIL forces have come under fire. I've raised this issue with my counterpart, Minister Gallant. And again, it's a war zone, so a number of things can happen. He assured me that there's no intent of him or his forces to target UNIFIL forces. But again, I continue to emphasize how important it is that those forces don't come under attack. So.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. One of the points, two of the points, at least within the joint declaration today, indicated the G7 is seeking to deter China and maintain status quo in the region, both in support of Russia and its expansion of South China Sea, particularly with regard to Japan's defense minister today in Laden. What more can you share about the goals that you see being achieved through this agreement?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch all of that. So.
In terms of the agreement signed today, maintained and emphasized the need to deter China and the South China Sea, as well as deter China from supporting Russia with Ukraine. Can you speak more about what you and the Japanese defense minister spoke about in achieving that goal?
Well, I think we all are interested in preserving a free and open Indo-Pacific, and nobody wants to see a change to the status quo by any one party. And so we have a common vision of the Indo-Pacific, and that is that countries can sail and sail the international seas and fly international airways without harassment, without interruption. And so that common vision pulls us together, pulls a number of countries together to work on things. And we are very much concerned about any support that China would provide to Russia in its illegal and unprovoked aggression against its neighbor Ukraine. So I think we all see this alike, and nobody wants to see Russia continue to do what it's doing. So I think this is a common vision that pulls all of us together. And Japan is one of our greatest allies in the region. We continue to work together to strengthen that alliance. There are a number of things, as you know, that we're working on together. And the minister is new to his position, but this is his third time as defense minister. And so he brings to the job a lot of experience, and I look forward to working with him.
Does Hamas control all of the hostages? And if not, who else does? Other groups such as Palestinian Islamic Jihad?
It's hard to say in terms of the remaining hostages who has their hands on hostages at this point in time. And I tell you what, at this point in time, nobody should be controlling hostages, and that's why we're pushing hard to get a ceasefire and release of the hostages.
What is the current military strength of Hamas and Hezbollah?
I'll have to come back to you on that. I don't want to give you inaccurate information, but I would say that the Israelis have attrited the fighting force significantly. I would say that they've had really good effects on the leadership, and this latest blow in taking out Sinwar, I think, is meaningful. So I think in terms of the military capacity of Hamas, I think the IDF has done a pretty good job of taking away a lot of capability. We've said, and we stand by what we said, that we're going to continue to support Ukraine, and we're going to continue to provide support to Israel as it seeks to defend its sovereign space. I think you have to look at this from a standpoint of, while we're the only country primarily supporting Israel, there are 50 other countries helping us to support Ukraine. And so, as you know, we meet together every month in the Ukraine Defense Contact Group. And I think next month, President Biden will bring the senior leaders together in a summit. We were going to do that this month, but we had to postpone it because of the concerns raised by the hurricane. So it's really kind of apples and oranges, and they don't use or consume exactly the same kinds of things. There is similarity, but not an exact match across the board. So yeah, we're going to continue to support Israel in its efforts to defend itself. And again, I think from what I heard from all of my colleagues at NATO this last week, they remain committed to doing what's necessary to support Ukraine. So.
I just want to ask you about two issues that you've raised in recent days with the Israeli government.
Is this going to be one question or two questions?
It's one. First, on the U.S. Secretary Laden wrote this letter that was made public to the Israeli government, raising concerns about the delivery of humanitarian aid and giving them 30 days to demonstrate improvement on that. I think that was seen any indications that the Israeli government is facilitating a greater flow of aid supplies into Gaza since you all sent that letter, I believe, on the 13th? And then the other issue is related to Lebanon. We've gotten in the Riots of your calls with Minister Omar, the fact that you've raised concerns about civilian casualties in Lebanon, just like we have in Gaza from the beginning of the conflict. Do you feel like the Israelis are taking sufficient care in Lebanon? There have been reports of more than 2,000 people killed since the beginning of the northern front.
Whether or not they're taking care in Lebanon, I would tell you, and we've seen this from some of the things that the results of the strikes here recently. First of all, LH makes a concerted effort to put its headquarters in materials like rockets and missiles in and amongst the population. And so that makes for a very difficult battle space. And any time that an adversary is doing that kind of thing, it's inviting opportunities for collateral damage. Having said that, I say the same thing that I said, about Gaza and continue to say. The numbers of civilian casualties have been far too high. We'd like to see Israel scale back on some of the strikes that it's taking, especially in and around Beirut. And we'd like to see things transition to some sort of negotiation that would allow civilians on both sides of the border to return to their homes. And that's the point that I'll continue to make with Minister Gallant. And I think, yes, he does take on my input. So in terms of the specifics of correspondence between Secretary Blinken and I and our counterparts, that's correspondence that was designed for them, and I won't make public comments about that. What I will tell you is that, I've been talking about humanitarian assistance in Gaza from the very beginning, and how important it is to increase the amount of humanitarian assistance that's going in. And what we saw recently is a sharp decline in the amount of HA that was going in, and so we need to bend that curve in the other direction. We need to make sure that the civilians in Gaza are getting what they need to survive. I think they have a window of opportunity now with Hamas's leadership being taken out of the picture to really begin to focus in earnest on the people. As I said earlier, though, the primary objective is to get the hostages released and get a ceasefire. President Biden has been very clear on that, and he and the team are working hard to do what we can to bring that to fruition. So that work continues. I am seeing things being done to get more aid in. Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Just following up on the question about Lebanon, Mr. Secretary. The administration has made clear and just indicated that it supports Israel's very ground campaign to degrade as well as leadership, as well as its capabilities on the ground. But if the Israelis told you in specific time terms or metrics, when they expect to finish this clearing of the South that will allow them to safely return tens of thousands of Israelis to the north, and perhaps even more important in the American doctrine, they indicated to you the specific plan for the day after, how to build rather than hold on to those gains of security and capability.
In Lebanon.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I think you hit the nail on the head here. I mean, their stated goal is to get civilians back to their homes in the north of Israel. And we'd also like to see civilians that live in Lebanon get back to their homes as well. And the best way to do that, the fastest way to do that is through a negotiated settlement. the operations that they're conducting right now are designed to degrade and eliminate some of the infrastructure that's been put into place right up along the border that's serves to threaten people as they move back into their homes. Israelis felt that they needed to address that. I clearly understand that. So how long that takes them, Eric, is I defer to the Israelis to define what their specific timelines and goals and objectives are. They, again, going into that, they were focused on the infrastructure that was in the vicinity of the border. And that makes tactical and operational sense.
In terms of once they complete that phase of becoming the American government, you talked about Gaza quite a bit. Do they have a strategy yet to hold those gains and build on them, secure those gains, and just not pull out of that, but what's happening in Gaza, but the insurgents go back?
So, the LAF and UNIFIL would, UNIFIL is designed to help provide that stability in that area as if and when the Israelis pull out, and in working with the LAF. So I'm sure that's the approach that they would like to take going forward. So. Eric, I won't comment any further. We are committed to working. The international community is committed to working with the LAF and UNIFIL to help them get what they need to. Be able to be effective in operations. So.